A day on the focus with your girl Anne. It's December 18th, and buckle up, Buttercup, because today's historical tidbits are a wild ride. First off, let's go way back. 1118. King Alfonso I of Aragon, total boss, conquers Zaragoza. Imagine the bragging rights. Fast forward a bit to 1271, and Kublai Khan's renaming his empire Yuan. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? More like Yuan Derful, if you ask me. Then, we've got a bunch of stuff happening in the 17th century. 1622, Portuguese versus the Kingdom of Congo. A battle in present-day Angola. Ouch, 1655. The Whitehall Conference decides Jews can return to England after a long exile. About time. Jumping to the 1700s, we have the first American Thanksgiving in 1777, celebrating a win against the British. Way to go, rebels! In 1787, New Jersey becomes the third state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. New Jersey, you were on the ball. The 1800s were pretty busy. We had the first performance of the Russian national anthem in 1833. In 1854, Canada abolishes the seigneurial system. Probably a good thing, less lordly stuff. 1865, the 13th Amendment abolishes slavery in the U.S. Huge. 1892, the premiere of the Nutcracker, a classic for the ages. And let's not forget the first land speed record in 1898 to 63 km per hour. Slow by today's standards, but impressive for the time. The 1900s? Don't even get me started. World War I, Prohibition, the first NFL playoff game, Go Bears. World War II, a crazy tornado in Illinois. The launch of the first communications satellite. The Vietnam War, Christmas bombings. Talk about a chaotic century. Oh, and let's not forget the Supreme Court decision in Korematsu versus United States in 1944, a dark chapter in American history. We also had some plane crashes, the launch of the Terra platform, and of course the first impeachment of Donald Trump in 2019. And 2022, Argentina wins the World Cup. What a year! And that's just scratching the surface. There were births of important people too, from cardinals to queens to composers. It's enough to make your head spin. Now, for a little story. Imagine a time traveler, let's call him Harold, accidentally landing in 1777, right smack dab in the middle of the first American Thanksgiving celebrations. Harold, being a huge fan of the Nutcracker, is beyond confused. Turkey, cranberry sauce, and the sounds of a distant, slightly off-key rendition of Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy? He stumbles upon a group singing off-key carols, convinced that he's somehow warped to an alternate 18th century Christmas instead. Then, the news of the victory at Saratoga sweeps through the celebration. Suddenly, Harold sees a connection. The spirit of triumph, the joy of overcoming obstacles. It's also similar to his time period's World Cup victory celebrations. He realizes that every era has its victories, its iconic moments, and its unexpected blends of traditions. The chaos of his own time, with its plane crashes, world wars, and political dramas, suddenly feels a little less chaotic when he sees its historical echoes reflected in this simpler celebration. He learns that history is cyclical, and sometimes it even takes a little bit of sugar plum fairy magic to make sense of it. And that, my friends, is a wrap for today's A Day on the Focus. Tune in tomorrow for another dose of history.